Hey, what's up, Dean? Sim Performance Shop. Yep. Yesterday I left off. I got the two V bars in. I started getting all the backs of them welded in. I'm going to jump inside the car, finish welding these, and that is pretty much all the TIG weld is done on the cage except for this side here. So once I finish those, I'll jump over here, finish this. I think I got a little bit on the front of that outrigger that I got to do. So I'll grab that and throw in the dash bar. I also did talk to the chassis certification guy. We cannot get a rule book to save our lives, which the SFI rule book is basically how you design and build a cage safely and to pass certification. So we've tried several times over the last couple of years to get a hold of them and basically get a book, and they don't seem to answer or call back. We also emailed in the form one time, and that didn't lead to a rule book. And even the chassis certification guy said, buy two, he'll buy one from me. So, not really sure how that works. If you're supposed to build a cage, obviously a lot of guys build cages daily and they kind of know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, but we don't do it every day. I know how to build a cage. I don't know how to build it to the spec, like off the top of my head. 850 certification is one thing, but when you go a lot faster, it's a completely different rule. So, but anyways, regardless, I'm going to knock out these welds, and then I got another bottle for the MIG welder. So I'll finish MIGing up the plates on the inside, and then by the end of today, I plan on having the cage in itself pretty much 100% done, except for a few welds underneath that I just don't feel like laying on the floor and catching on fire for. So yeah, I'm gonna jump on that and then we'll come back and finish. Okay, so everything's welded out, top, bottom, forward. I got that welded out. Got the dash bar in, fully welded. Started welding, a little bit left over there, but man, I cannot stuff my head in there far enough. So I blew the floor all clean and everything. I'm going to crawl under tomorrow, finish the bottom half of that one, while I finish the MIG welds on that side, and the front of that plate there and the front of this plate here. So there's half a tube of TIG welding on those. Not even half a tube, it's like a quarter of a tube. And then the door bar. So I asked him one question. I wasn't sure, because I know I said tear the interior out before you bring it to me, but I wasn't 100% sure on if he was going to run interior in the car. So I did ask him if he's going to keep the door panels. He said he planned to. So with what I always do, I'm sure a lot of people do it, but take a piece of masking tape and you kind of mock the bar, the outside of the bar, with the masking tape. So that would be where the bar would normally go. You shut the door and it hits the tape. So pops the tape off the bar. So that's no good. So you put a little, it's like a 6-degree bend in it. So now if you look, the bar is pretty close to running parallel to the body and then kicks out, because I like the main hoop to be really, really far out. This way it gives the driver more room like if the car was hit here or something like that, you know, the body runs into the bar, hopefully, before it runs into the driver. So the door bar, it's got a little less than a finger gap right there, which seems to be really, really good. I also kept it to where it's not too bad to do the window crank. So functional. I got it all notched in, so I have to weld that. But what I'm gonna do first is set the seat bracket in there and set the, so that's the lower bracket, the floor bracket, let's call it that. So I'm going to trim the floor bracket, probably going to shove it as far to the trans tunnel as I can before upsetting the, hitting that spot right there. I could always trim that little section out and get it over farther, kind of build a little plate or something. But I'm going to shove it over, and I'm going to take the actual seat brackets that are on the cart, grab one of the seats, and just kind of mock it in here. I'm going to set the seat brackets down, set the seat in there, and then I'm going to sit in it and try and get kind of a height. You know, him being about the same height as me, I'm going to get where I would be comfortable, forward height. And what I'll do is when he picks the car up, we'll finalize the seat. But I want to make sure that this bar isn't like an elbow killer. Like it's just beyond, you know, uncomfortable. They normally are. It kind of is what it is to have the door bar. I am not a fan of coming down and then forward, unless you have the X bar that goes to the front of the cage. I'm not a fan of doing it that way. To me, that bar, bending that bar down and forward, you've already created a point where the bar could push away. Like in a downward manner, which would be the front of the cage coming back, which is not what you want. It also could be the rear of the cage going forward. That's a little bit harder because you got the upper bars. So I'm going to check it tomorrow. If it's good, I'm going to burn it in. I already got everything made. I already know the notches work for the other side. Basically, you take this bar, you flip it over. The only issue is the bend goes out. So you don't flip it. You actually just take it, carry it over there. The bend goes out, so the bend has to be reversed. But I already know the notches will work for that. The angles are all the same and everything. So that tells me that those two front bars are correct. Like they're pretty much almost as close to identical as you can get, and that's awesome. Yeah, so door bars, the two back bars, which I think I have enough material to do the two back bars. I may end up grabbing another bar or two when I go get the tin for the floor, but as of right now, pretty much, you know, everything I want to get done today is close to being done. I could stay and bend this bar and notch it and do all that. It'd take me 10 minutes, but I'm at a good point. I'm going to shut everything off, come in the morning, do the other door bar, check, or actually I'm going to check the door bar with the seat before I cut a bar and, you know, screw that up. I'm going to check this one with the seat. If it's good, I'll make the other bar, burn those 100%, start MIG welding, or actually I'll probably do the back bars. No, I'm not doing the back bars because of the fuel cell. See, there's a reason. There's a method to the madness sometimes. So I'll get everything burned in 100% so that the cabin is done. The whole inside of the car will be 100% done. Then I will start chopping up some bars and stuff for the fuel cell mount, battery mount, which he has a battery tray. But the trans cooler mount, and he did confirm that the shock bar is backwards, which I thought it was. It just seemed like it was in a weird position, but I have an idea for him for an anti-sway bar. So I may get with him on ordering a couple of the parts that we need Don't necessarily have to have the bar, the links, and the tabs and all that stuff, but as long as we have the mount done for it, then he can, you know, do the finish part on that. But it'll also give me an idea on, you know, where to put it and whatnot. But yeah, so for this one, that's it for today. I appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. New videos. Leave me a comment. Appreciate you watching. Have a good day.